Abby and welcome back to a new video. It is really bright with the window behind me because usually when I record these things I do it in the dead of night. But right now it is currently like 2 p.m, very sunny and bright out, beautiful out. And I decided, you know what, while I look nice, let me record it now. It is officially now springtime, the warmer weather, and I decided why not celebrate that with making a new dress. I've seen this style of dress a lot with lots of bows and ribbons because bows and ribbons are really popular and trendy nowadays. So I really wanted to add my own kind of stylish flair on it. I did choose a fabric that was a little bit more out of my comfort zone because I don't think red is a color that suits me very well. I think just the color of it on my skin tone and even just, I think red is really like a bold, passionate color, and I think my personality is not like that at all, so it looks very out of place on me. But I want to embrace more color in my life, so I decided to take a chance and buy this fabric, and I think this dress turned out so darling. I'm in love with it. It's definitely one of my new favorites, and I'm excited to wear it around town. So let's jump right into how I made this dress and what the final product looks like. When sketching out the pieces I knew I would need, I made sure to remember that I wanted the bodice and skirt pieces to be connected so that there would be no waistline seam. I wanted it fitted around my bust and waist, but to slightly flare out around my hips. So starting with my center fold, center front piece, I cut out the center front piece, and then I had my 2 side pieces and 2 back pieces, so I had 5 pieces altogether. I did not include my cutout part yet as I wanted to better gauge how big and wide to make it, so I didn't end up cutting that out until after the base of the dress was complete. Taking those 5 pieces, I placed them on top of a white fabric so that the white fabric could be the lining, and cut it out so that all the pieces would be symmetrical. Once all of my pieces were cut out, I pinned the fabric right sides together and did the same thing for the lining, leaving the back open so that I can sew in a zipper. Once sewn together, I serged down the raw edges of the back as well as the side seams to give it a cleaner look. After serging, I sewed up the backs and ironed them open. Next, I made a very poor attempt at trying to conceal my zipper by sewing the zipper over the seam allowance of the back and then seam ripping open that seam. I was hoping that the fabric would help to hide the zipper a little bit better than I usually sew them, and it was a bit of a miss, but that does not bother me too much and it is still very functional, so I left it as it is. I made sure to use my zipper foot so that I could be as close to the teeth of the zipper as possible without breaking my needle. Once the zipper was in, I folded in the raw edges of the top of the bodice, making sure to match up the seam lines at the top. Then I marked out how big of a cutout I wanted it to be and cut it out, making sure to fold it over so that way it would be symmetrical. Next, for the ties in the middle, I wanted to use the red ribbon to highlight the red flowers on the dress. So I cut out 6 strips of red ribbon, making sure that they were all the same length, and then I used a lighter on the ends to help prevent fraying. Moving on to the straps, I wanted it to be kind of like the cap sleeves, so it would be slimmer around where it was connected to the dress but gets wider on the shoulders to kind of hug them. At first I was going to serge the sides and then fold them over, but the fabric was very light and I wanted it to have more structure and be able to hold the dress up more securely, so I opted to sew 2 of the straps together, right sides together, and then turn them inside out. Once inside out, I top stitched down both sides to help it lay flatter and nicer. Then I top stitched down the top of the bodice, making sure to insert in the straps and the ties around the cutout. And then lastly, I did a rolled hem on both the skirt and the lining, and then the skirt was complete.